This video was requested by Harvey Milner. Hello and welcome back to Quirk Analysis 101, the series where I give you a detailed rundown on the quirks in the world of My Hero Academia. In the last video, I discussed everything about the electrifying, ecstatic heartbreak kid that is Denki Kaminari, and his stunning supercharged quirk, Electrification. In today's video, I'll be discussing the quirk that belongs to the soft Mr. Shy Boy himself, Tamaki Amajiki. I mean, just look at his awkwardness.
We must protect him at all costs.
But before I begin, I'm going to give you a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button and bell icon to keep up to date with all of the new, amazing content the Lunchtime crew is producing. And now, let's stuff our faces and head on over to the quirk that takes the phrase, "You are what you eat," to a whole new level. Manifest. Manifest is a transformation type quirk which first appeared in chapter 132 of the My Hero manga and episode 68 of the anime. This quirk grants its user the ability to enhance their body with the characteristics of anything they consume. This quirk also isn't limited to just things we consider food, as we see Tamaki swallowing and taking on the characteristics of Yu Hojo's crystals. But come on, we all know that Tamaki didn't need to swallow crystals for us to realize that this boy is an absolute gem. Once the substance has entered the user's digestive system, they can possess its characteristics for as long as it remains there. So the more of a substance the person consumes, the longer they can manifest its attributes. But you know little Mirio 100% convinced little Tamaki to swallow chewing gum just to see how long it could become chewy and squishy for. Now it's time for the part where I talk about the quirk's abilities. Now, as I've mentioned, Manifest allows the user to enhance their body with the attributes of whatever they consume. So basically, this means that the user can gain the ability of any edible substance they can get their hands on. If the user eats octopus, they can turn their hands, legs, or fingers into human-sized tentacles. If they eat crab, they can turn their arms into powerful claws. If they eat a bird, they can grow wings and bird feed. If they eat a clam, they can harden their body with clam shells, and so on and so on. This also works in regards to plants too. If they eat a fruit that grows on a vine, they can produce vines with the fruit on its ends. These enhancements only occur on the user's command as well, and any trait can be dismissed at will. This already makes this quirk one of, if not the most versatile abilities in the entirety of My Hero. However, this isn't the only benefit this quirk offers, as the user can also manifest different attributes from multiple sources simultaneously. They can make clams appear on one hand as a shield, tentacles on the other for offense, and bird legs for faster movement, all at the same time. This again offers a crazy amount of versatility and opportunities for the user, as not only do they have countless variations of food to choose from, but they can also utilize essentially an unlimited number of combinations of these abilities. I also want to point out that Tamaki can affect any part of his body with this ability, and not once have we seen him use it to increase the size of his you-know-what. So you know this boy must be packing some schmeat. But this isn't even all this quirk allows the user to do, as Manifest also has the amazing ability of size manipulation and attribute fusions. Now, the best example I can use to explain this with is actually Tamaki's ultimate move, which he calls Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken. For this move, Tamaki combines the attributes of an octopus and a crab with his size manipulation ability and produces numerous gigantic rampaging tentacles from his body, which are covered in the crab's hard shell, making them extremely powerful and deadly. His body and face also gets covered by these shells, giving him an extra layer of protection. Tamaki also uses another super move of the same vein called Vast Hybrid Chimera Centaur. For this move, Tamaki turns the lower half of his body into that of a horse, which allows him to quickly charge towards and around enemies. And with this, he also produces horns on his head, as well as vines with hard fruits from his hands, which he uses to attack multiple enemies at once. Fun fact, all of Tamaki's super moves are named after mythical beasts. Kraken refers to a giant octopus or squid monster which lies in the ocean's deepest and darkest crevices. Centaur refers to a creature in Greek mythology who has the upper half of a human and the lower half of a horse. And the prefix chimera refers to another creature in Greek mythology who is composed of the parts of more than one animal. I wonder what would happen if Tamaki ate some whale. Would he be able to balloon into some weird massive creature and just straight up crush his enemy? Or... sweet Jesus. But even with all of this absolutely insane power, just like every other quirk, Manifest does have some weaknesses. The most crucial of which is the user's dependency on, well, food. It sounds obvious, but there's a point. The user can only enhance their body as long as the substance they're trying to manifest is still in their digestive system. So while there is an unlimited number of combinations and variations of manifestations, the user can only access a very limited number of the manifestations at one time. This also means that the length of time the user has to manifest is tied directly to how much of that substance they have eaten. So, if you were thinking why doesn't the user just eat little bits of a bunch of different things, well, that would leave the user with very little time to actually make use of the manifestation. There is also the fact that the user has to not only be conscious of what and how much they eat, but also what uses the food offers them. If you're going to battle someone underwater, you had better hope that you have eaten an aquatic-based animal. If you're dealing with fire, you best not be dependent on that chicken you had earlier, or you're gonna make for some delicious hot wings. And finally, there's also the fact that you may be allergic to, or just straight up despise, a food that would be extremely beneficial to you, limiting your options. However, even with these weaknesses, there is still an ungodly amount of potential with this ability. Just think of the strengths of any animal. If you can eat it, that strength is now yours. Also, any additional appendages created using this quirk does not affect the user's body itself. So if you make a tentacle arm and some of the tentacle gets chopped off, you wouldn't lose a piece of your own arm. This offers you more opportunities to take big risks. It's also likely that your opponent will have no idea what you've eaten that day when you are facing them. So even if they are aware of your power, you would still be extremely unpredictable, giving you a huge advantage when it comes to combat. If the user was to swallow some rock containing no toxic minerals, they would essentially gain Kirishima's hardening ability. And on the note of taking abilities, if the user was to say, I don't know, eat another quirk user, or even just some of their hair, then the user could potentially manifest that person's ability, making this already Omega level quirk God tier. And finally, the greatest potential for this quirk would be if the user was female. A study done by Mayo Clinic has discovered that women actually digest food a lot slower than men, roughly 1.5 times slower. So this means that if this quirk was used by a woman, they would be able to make use of manifestation 50% longer than a man would. So unfortunately for Tamaki, he was born with a whopping P. And that's everything you need to know about the quirk Manifest. Holy crap, is this an amazing ability. When I was first making this video, I knew it was going to be above average, but dear lord, it offers so much power and versatility with only a few very minor weaknesses. It's easy to see how Tamaki made it into the big tree. Facum was right all along. If Tamaki only had some confidence, he would be unstoppable. But let me know what you think. Would you like to have the Manifest quirk? And what quirk would you like me to cover in this series next? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Plus Ultra.